What is going on, guys? Yash here, back at it with another video for you guys. Hope everyone's week is going absolutely amazing. What we're going to be talking about today, guys, is AliExpress dropshipping dead? Okay, so the whole purpose of dropshipping, if you guys are new to the concept or new to this channel, the whole concept is that you don't really have to touch the physical product, okay, for your guys' e-commerce stores or products, okay. It can be more than one product depending on what you guys are promoting, obviously, okay. Customer places an order, right? You place that order usually through Oberlo, okay, which is connected to AliExpress. Oberlo is what you use to sync and import products from AliExpress. Once you fulfill the order, the supplier, usually processes it, which usually takes 4 to 7 days, which is so long, just to process it. And that supplier usually sends it directly to the consumer, okay? So that's the whole process, okay? And yes, AliExpress does take a long time if you go more the traditional way, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, guys. But, just going into 2020, right, is AliExpress dropshipping just really, really sustainable? Well, what I do have to say first and most is that you guys should be focused on micro branding your stores, okay? And what that really consists of is not only the front end, meaning, your website and your advertisements, making it look professional, making it look clean. That's something you guys should already be doing. But at the end of the day, to have something long term and sustainable, you want revisiting customers, quality customers, and lifetime customers, okay? You want to build a community. So what's really, really important is that you guys have really, really good customer satisfaction. Why is Amazon worth billions and billions of dollars? The reason is they're very customer centric, okay? They focus on their end consumer, okay? And they prioritize customer satisfaction. So you guys should be, holding that same concept accountable, for your guys' online stores to really have something long term. Because oftentimes, if someone purchases something once from a traditional dropshipping store, they usually won't come back again because they've had a very, very bad experience the first time. It's probably taken, weeks or even months, which, sometimes what happens with AliExpress, especially during Q4 and other, larger e-commerce days where the volume is so up, in terms of orders, it takes a really, really long time to get it to the consumer. So, that just kind of detaches that potential revisiting customer from your guys' websites, okay? So, traditionally, when you guys are starting out, what I believe is that it's completely okay to use AliExpress when you're doing a very small number of scale, okay? Meaning a very low volume of orders, meaning a few orders a day, that's fine because you guys don't know what direction you guys are, probably going towards unless you're definitely 100% sure that, you guys will be scaling up. Excuse me. So, with that being said, there's a few ways to go about this. So if you guys do want to use AliExpress as a beginner especially, that's fine. But there's, again, a few ways to pivot that and make it a little bit more convenient for you guys, okay? So AliExpress, usually, they have long shipping times, even though they say sometimes like 2 to 3 weeks. It ends up taking months and months. They have poor communication between suppliers, usually most of the times, and sometimes products also get damaged. And also, let me add incorrect tracking numbers, okay? Because that's really what happens sometimes. And people want tracking numbers, okay? If you guys were to buy something, you obviously want a tracking number, to really make sure, if your guys' is product or order is gonna arrive on time, or where it is, or where it's at, whatnot. So these are some of the characteristics and drawbacks with AliExpress, if you guys are using it. But again, let's just go back into AliExpress and see how you guys can adapt and modify a few things to get around this, okay? So usually when someone searches something on AliExpress, they'll do ponytail beanie, for example. Let's just go with that product. And yes, this was a winning product. I actually sold this 2 winters ago. It's usually a seasonal product that does very well almost every winter. So usually, someone will look at the rating, at the number of volumes sold, and that's completely fine. But what you guys can also do, guys, is not a lot of people know this, is you can toggle up to this little filter right here, and you can do ship from, instead of China, that's by default, you can do ship from United States, okay? Now, this is sometimes not available with every product, especially if your product is, not so prominent, not so out there, but with most products, this is an option, okay? Now, you guys can also do free shipping, okay? Now, usually with ePacket, the shipping is free, or it's very, very low price, usually under $1 or like $1 or $1.50. So this filter usually is very rare that you'll find a supplier from the United States with free shipping. So I would just personally leave that off, but for this case especially, but it's something that you guys can always do. So guys, you'll see that there's a bunch of stores here, that are obviously offering, products from the U.S. Okay. So again, ships from the United States, and usually, guys, right here to the United States via USPS, which is United States Postal Service, and that's 4 to 7 days. Now the shipping will be a little bit more. It's going to be $6.42. So if you guys are offering free shipping on your guys' website, that's great. But I would also have another shipping option that is like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 bucks, okay, because they are getting it in 4 to 7 days. So that's something that you guys have to figure out in terms of your margins, in terms of what the cost price is, what the selling price is. Maybe you guys want to sell the product for a little bit more now, and in terms of what the shipping will actually cost you, right? Because in this case, guys, the shipping is going to cost you even a little bit more than the actual product, okay? So, but again, guys, that's just another option, another route that you guys can go about, because customer satisfaction, again, is main, especially if you guys are building, something long-term, something sustainable. Also, what I do recommend doing is, not a lot of people do this, not a lot of people get out of their comfort zones. You can actually communicate with your supplier, right? There's an option to actually message the supplier right here. If you want to contact them, you can 100% do that. You can also see they have a 100% feedback rate, and you can actually communicate with the supplier like, hey, I run and operate an e-commerce store. There's a bunch of these products that I'm going to be selling in the next, few months or few weeks, whatever it may be, depending on your situation. Is it possible if you can lower down the cost per unit or even the shipping price? Okay, you guys can actually negotiate and seek out other options with them. And more than likely, most of them will agree, okay? You guys can negotiate that. I've done it in the past before. That's why, I can always refer back to AliExpress, because I've built good relationships with a lot of these suppliers for, a lot of my current and previous stores as well. So that's always an option you guys, can have. A lot of these suppliers, they have other manufacturers. They have their own warehouses that you guys you guys may not be even aware about. So it's always good to kind of take that extra step and, see what's really possible. Whether you guys are, seeking the option from China or from even United States, just overall, better, what you're delivering, right? Your deliverability as an e-commerce site, as a business, is number one, and really people take that into consideration, especially when it comes referring your store to other people and sharing your store and word of mouth and whatnot. And especially, again, people coming back to your guys' stores. Okay. You can also talk with a supplier. If you want to go towards the route of white labeling, what it means, white labeling is basically a product with no specific branding on it or no specific logo or anything on it. So white labeling is just basically rebranding that product and making it your own. Let's say my store is called XYZ, okay? You guys can actually write XYZ on this little pin right here or somewhere across the hat, just for example purposes. So a lot of suppliers that will also offer that sort of service kind of outside of the AliExpress scope. So there's a lot to be done with AliExpress if you actually utilize it the right way, if you get the right supplier, and if you just, again, go out of your comfort zone a little bit. So these are just some options that I'm throwing at you guys that you guys can definitely seek. Another option, I don't know if you guys are super familiar with this option, is CJ Dropshipping, okay? A lot of people use this. I used to use this myself. Now I use a private supplier and a sourcing agent. But they basically have 5 warehouses worldwide. Okay, they have 2 in Canada, 2 in US, and I think this might be Thailand. So let's just go to the US because um, that may be the most convenient for this example. So if you guys go to the US, you guys can see that same exact product. Okay, now the product cost itself is about the same. It's $285 on CJ Dropshipping. Okay, but now you guys can do from US warehouse. For that, it's USPS shipping times 2 to 5 days, and the shipping cost is $570. So it's a little bit lower, okay, than AliExpress, what we saw there from at least that specific supplier. So the total product cost is around $855. Now again, guys, you guys can negotiate with these guys as well, okay? And if you guys want to use CJ Dropshipping from China, just go back to the regular e-packet method. They even have better shipping times than the normal AliExpress suppliers, because AliExpress, they usually say like 10 to 20 days, but usually always almost ends up being more. So for that, it's 5 to 15 days at $427. Okay, but if I were you guys, that's basically almost the same. So why not just ship from the U.S. supplier, pay a little bit more, like $1 or $2, and have even shorter shipping times? Okay, so that's what I personally would do. But again, guys, it also depends on your budget very, very much. So again, you guys can go over here and have any questions. You can contact the individual supplier as well. Again, you can see that their processing time is only 1 day. If we switch back to the China warehouse, again, their processing time is only 1 day. So regardless, it is a little bit less. So guys, this is always another option, to choose from. Depending on the product and other components, there are going to be different variants that may alternate. So just really write down everything. What you guys should be really, really looking for is your cost price, your selling price, your margins, how flexible your margins are, and your shipping cost, obviously, okay? And also what the shipping cost on your website will be, okay? You guys need to deliver enough value so people will pay for shipping, because usually people love free shipping, okay? So you guys can obviously, figure that out on your own. Just write it down on a piece of paper, weigh certain options out, and see which one is the best for you guys, okay? There's no really right or wrong. The third one is Udroppy. Not a lot of people know about this too. But again, they have different options. So if we go to, the home page, assuming that most of you guys are, just traditional, just drop shipping traditionally, you can, you can go to this option, which is saying I'm a drop shipper. Okay, we'll let this load. Also, guys, if you guys are enjoying these type of videos, please, guys, drop a like on this video, and please subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate it. So again, these guys can also they offer a little bit more. They offer one-click imports, SKU numbers, request new products. They can actually give you and suggest new products as well. They have a product finder. One-click order management and fulfillment, which is almost like Oberlo. You can also customize invoices. They're pretty good with reference. Also, they ship worldwide. And you also get a personal e-com manager as well, which I think CJ Dropshipping also offers that. And they also have very, very precise track shipping with DHL Global, which is what China uses to usually ship products. Okay. So guys, seek out these different options, especially with the AliExpress guys. Play around with it, especially if you guys are new. You might not completely go to CJ Dropshipping, Droppy, because you guys aren't doing very high volumes, which really doesn't make sense. I completely get it. But with AliExpress guys, go to the filters. Seek out if they offer that same product from the US. For most products, they do, like I said. Importantly, guys, get comfortable with your supplier. Ask them white labeling. Ask them about decreasing the product price, decreasing price. increasing the actual shipping times. Okay, guys, I'm speaking from experience. Most of these suppliers do agree because it's at the end of the day, and you can also say like, hey, I'll refer you to other e-commerce business owners or other drop shippers as well. Okay, so get out of your comfort zone, see what's the best option for you, weigh out your options, and really weigh out the numbers like I was explaining to you guys before as well. So going into 2020, I definitely do agree that you guys should have better customer support, and your customer satisfaction should be a number one priority, guys, especially if you want to build something long-term and sustainable, which is what you should be aiming for at the end of the day, right? You want to capitalize this long-term, not only short-term. So, think a few steps ahead and really adapt and pivot in your business on how to make it overall better in terms of your deliverability and, just your response in general to the actual consumer. All right, guys. So if you have any questions about drop shipping, about e-commerce in general, or more specifically something towards this video, drop a comment below. Share your thoughts with me. I'd love to chat with you guys. If you guys already haven't joined my free Facebook group, Ecom Masterminds, definitely check it out in the description below. Check out my last video. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. And also, guys, I made a video. It's my last video, how I released a 17-page Ecom Masterminds Incubator Playbook. So if you guys watched that last video, you guys can learn a little bit more about that. But I will also leave a link to the playbook in the description below. I definitely suggest acquiring it. There's tons of jam-packed information for you guys. So with that being said, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, turn on your post notification bell so you guys do get informed when these new videos are dropped every single week, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you and peace.